What if I told you that a man who once uploaded YouTube videos using McDonald's Wi-Fi while living in his car now owns a $5 million collection of the world's most exclusive supercars? That an accountant who got laid off and lost everything would become one of YouTube's biggest automotive influencers, inspiring millions and changing car culture forever. This is the story of James Condon, better known as the Stradman, and it's proof that sometimes you have to lose everything to find out who you really are. The Dream and the Degree. May 7th, 1989. James Lucas Condon is born in Oregon to a middle-class family. From an early age, James had two defining characteristics: an obsession with cars and a practical approach to life that led him towards financial stability. The name Stradman wouldn't come until much later, inspired by his dream car, the 2004 Ferrari Challenge Stradale. But even as a kid, James was different. While other children played with toy cars, James studied them. He understood the engineering, the design philosophy, the heritage behind each brand. When it came time for college, James made what seemed like the sensible choice. He enrolled at Oregon State University to study accounting and finance. This wasn't following his passion, this was following a path to security. In a middle-class household, stability meant everything. Cars were a hobby, accounting was a career. James graduated in 2011 with his degree, right into one of the worst job markets in recent memory. The 2008 financial crisis had decimated the economy, and even accounting graduates were struggling to find work. But James was determined. He had done everything right, gotten the degree, learned the skills, followed the conventional path to success. What he didn't know was the conventional path was about to completely fail him. And that failure would become the foundation of everything that followed: the working world reality. After graduation, James did what accounting majors do. He found an accounting job. It wasn't glamorous, but it was steady income. For someone who had grown up understanding the value of financial security, having a regular paycheck felt like success. But James quickly discovered something that nobody warns you about in college. Sometimes doing everything right isn't enough. Despite his qualifications and work ethic, James found himself being paid less than colleagues who weren't as skilled or dedicated. The realization was crushing. The system he had trusted wasn't fair, and hard work alone wouldn't guarantee advancement. Frustrated and feeling undervalued, James made a decision that seemed logical at the time. He quit his job, expecting his employer to recognize his value and offer him a raise to stay. But they didn't. James was suddenly unemployed with no job prospects on the horizon. The security he had worked so hard to build vanished overnight. But this moment of professional failure was about to become the catalyst for something much bigger. With no traditional job prospects and bills to pay, James started looking for alternatives. That's when he remembered something he had been quietly pursuing on the side, a YouTube channel he had created in July 2012. The Desperate Beginning. July 27, 2012, James uploaded his first YouTube video, Ferrari Dino 246 GTS. It features a fully restored 1973 Ferrari, and it represented something James had always loved but never thought could be a career: sharing his passion for exotic cars. But when you're unemployed and desperate, passion becomes necessity. James packed everything he could fit in his 2002 Audi TT and headed to California, where the highest concentration of exotic cars in America could be found. His plan was simple: film rare and exotic cars for YouTube and somehow make enough money to survive. What happened next was a masterclass in perseverance under impossible circumstances. James was essentially homeless, living in his Audi TT and making only a few dollars a day from his early YouTube videos. His diet consisted of loaves of bread and off-brand soda, the cheapest calories he could find. When he needed to upload videos, he would drive to McDonald's parking lots and use their free Wi-Fi. Picture this: college-educated accountant, sleeping in a car, surviving on bread and soda, uploading car videos, using McDonald's internet because he couldn't afford his own. It was the kind of rock bottom that would break most people. Then, his car broke down. The breaking point. When your home is your car, and your car breaks down, you're not just dealing with a transportation problem, you're dealing with a housing crisis. James found himself with a broken down Audi TT, no money to fix it, and no backup plan. The repair cost was more than James had in his bank account, and at this point, most people would have called their parents, moved back home, and given up on the YouTube dream. But James had something that can't be taught: an absolute refusal to quit. Instead of giving up, James ordered the parts himself and fixed the car. He taught himself automotive repair out of necessity, turning his lowest moment into a learning opportunity. This wasn't just about fixing a car, it was about proving to himself that he could solve problems, adapt, and survive. After getting his car running again, James made a strategic decision. Instead of continuing to live day to day, he found steady work at a hotel. The job provided regular income and, crucially, vacation days that he could use to attend high-end automotive events like the Gumball 3000. James was slowly building something, even if he didn't fully understand what it was yet. He was creating content. building an audience, and most importantly, staying true to his passion for cars even when it seemed financially impossible. The turnaround. The steady hotel job provided stability, but James' real breakthrough came when he landed a position as a cost accountant under the management of someone who would become crucial to his story, Nick Burlacher, who became his current best friend. The job represented a significant income improvement, and for the first time since leaving college, James could start thinking beyond just survival. He could begin planning for the future. But James made a decision that everyone in his life thought was insane. He decided to buy a 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo. Think about this for a moment. James was working an average paying accounting job. His YouTube channel was making almost nothing. He had recently been homeless, and he decided to buy a $120,000 supercar. On September 26, 2015, James purchased his orange Lamborghini Gallardo from Lamborghini Newport Beach. This wasn't just a car purchase, it was a bet on himself, an investment in his content, and a statement about what he believed his YouTube channel could become. Everyone told him he was making a mistake. Family, friends, financial advisors, they all said he couldn't afford it. But James understood something they didn't. This wasn't just about owning a Lamborghini. This was about creating content that would resonate with people in a way his previous videos didn't. The content revolution. The Lamborghini Gallardo changed everything. Not just because it was an amazing car, but because it gave James something unique to share. What it's actually like to own a supercar when you're not a millionaire. Most supercar content on YouTube came from wealthy collectors or professional reviewers. James offered something different, the perspective of a regular guy who had sacrificed everything to own his dream car. He showed the reality, the maintenance costs, the insurance payments, and the daily challenges of driving an exotic car. But more than that, James did something that would define his entire brand. He started camping in his Lamborghini and documenting it. Here was a guy who owned a $250,000 car, but was still essentially homeless by choice, sleeping in parking lots and living minimally so he could afford his dream. It was absurd, relatable, and absolutely fascinating to watch. The content was authentic in a way that YouTube automotive content had never been before. This wasn't someone showing off wealth. This was someone showing genuine passion, sacrifice, and dedication to the car community. YouTube started gaining him serious money. His subscriber count grew rapidly. Brands began reaching out. Everything was finally working. And then he got laid off. Again. The ultimate test. Getting laid off the second time was different. This time, James had a Lamborghini payment to make, higher monthly expenses, and a YouTube channel that was growing but not yet generating enough income to replace a full-time salary. Most people would have immediately sold the car and found another accounting job, but James did the opposite. He kept the Lamborghini and doubled down on YouTube. This was the ultimate test of everything James had learned about himself. He had proven he could survive homelessness, fix his own car, and create compelling content. Now he had to prove he could build a sustainable business from his passion. James threw himself into content creation with an intensity that only comes from having no backup plan. He filmed constantly, engaged with his audience, collaborated with other creators, and treated YouTube like a full-time job it had become. The risk paid off. His channel exploded in popularity. The Lamborghini content resonated with car enthusiasts around the world. James had found his voice, his audience, and his calling. By 2018, James's YouTube channel was generating enough income to not only cover his expenses, but to start thinking about expanding his car collection. The accountant, who would have been laid off twice, was now making more money than most accountants ever would. Building the empire. Success in the YouTube automotive space opened doors James had never imagined. Brands wanted to work with him. Other creators wanted to collaborate. Car manufacturers began inviting him to exclusive events and launches. But James' real genius was understanding that authenticity scales. As his income grew and he could afford more exotic cars, he never lost the relatability that had originally attracted his audience. He still showed the real costs, the real problems, and the real joy of supercar ownership. His car collection grew strategically. A Lamborghini Aventador, a Ferrari F430 Challenge, Audi Veyron, and eventually hypercars worth millions of dollars. Each acquisition was documented, shared, and celebrated with his audience. James also expanded beyond just car ownership content. He started showing the business side of automotive YouTube, the behind-the-scenes realities of building a media empire, and the relationships within the car community. In 2021, he launched multiple additional channels, Strad and Strad Shorts, diversifying his content and reaching new audiences. His main channel crossed 4 million subscribers, generating an estimated monthly income of hundreds of thousands of dollars. The lifestyle transformation. The transformation wasn't just professional, it was personal. James moved from Park City, Utah, eventually settling into a stunning mansion in Bluffdale with features designed specifically for his car collection. an underground garage, and a car elevator. His relationships changed too. He dated Instagram stars and celebrities, sharing glimpses of his personal life with his audience while maintaining appropriate boundaries. But perhaps most importantly, James became a central figure in the automotive community. His opinion on cars mattered. His attendance at events drew crowds. He had become exactly what he had dreamed of as a kid obsessed with exotic cars, someone whose life revolved around the most incredible machines on earth. Current estimates put James' net worth at around $5 million, with a car collection valued at over $4.7 million. His YouTube empire generates substantial monthly income through ad revenue, sponsorships, merchandise, and affiliate marketing. The ripple effect. James's success story has had implications far beyond his personal transformation. He's inspired thousands of people to pursue their automotive passions, shown that YouTube can be a legitimate career path, and changed how the automotive industry thinks about influencer marketing. His content style, authentic, relatable, enthusiastic, has been copied by countless other automotive YouTubers. The regular guy with supercars format he pioneered has become a subgenre of automotive content. More importantly, James has shown that there's an audience for genuine passion. In an area of manufactured content and algorithmic optimization, his success proves that authenticity still resonates with people. Viewers can tell when someone genuinely loves what they're doing, and that genuine enthusiasm is what builds lasting audiences. James has been generous with his success, collaborating with other creators, supporting automotive charities, and using his platform to promote car safety and responsible driving. The business beyond YouTube. Understanding that sustainable success requires diversification, James has expanded beyond YouTube. In 2025, he launched Strad Pizza in Scottsdale, Arizona, combining his love of cars and pizza into a unique dining experience where car enthusiasts can gather. The pizza business represents James' evolution from content creator to entrepreneur. He's not just someone who makes videos about cars, he's someone who understands how to build brands, create experiences, and serve communities. This diversification ensures that his success isn't entirely dependent on YouTube's algorithm or the automotive content landscape. He's building multiple income streams and business interests that can sustain his lifestyle and continue growing independently. Wrap up. From uploading videos using McDonald's Wi-Fi while living in his car, to owning a multi-million-dollar supercar collection and inspiring millions around the world, James Condon's story is the ultimate example of what's possible when passion meets persistence. He lost his job twice, lived through homelessness, and risked everything on a dream that most people would have called impossible. But he never gave up on the thing that brought him joy, sharing his love of incredible cars with people who understood that passion. Today, the Stradman represents more than just automotive success. He represents the possibility that you can build a life around what you love, that authenticity can overcome any obstacle, and that sometimes the worst things that happen to you are actually the best things that could have happened. James Condon proved that when you lose everything, you find out what really matters. And sometimes what really matters is exactly what you need to build everything.